My privilege to introduce to each of you Ms. Sue Griffin, a self-proclaimed passion pusher and Canadian leader in the field of strategic fundraising alliances. Ms. Griffin is currently working at the BC Sports Hall of Fame as President and CEO. Sue brings over 25 years of senior marketing management expertise to the team in the development of strategic relationships between the nonprofit, corporate, media, sports, and entertainment sectors. Having been instrumental in the negotiation of corporate partnerships with Canada's major sports and entertainment venues, as well as numerous nonprofit agencies, Sue has sat on all sides of the table in negotiating win-win contracts resulting in long-term strategic relationships. Over the years, Sue has run her own business, creating and delivering a seminar series entitled Guts or Glory, Corporate Relations Strategies for Nonprofits. Not-for-profit clients including such organizations as Circle of Care, US, Special Olympics, BC Children's Hospital Foundation, Children's Miracle Network, Heart and Stroke Foundation of BC and Yukon, Make-A-Wish Foundation Canada, Canadian Mental Health Association, University of British Columbia Development. Corporate clients include such organizations as TELUS, SaskTel, the Seattle Mariners, Amex, and Canadian Airlines. Her passion is the development, implementation, and management of long-term integrated corporate relations strategies, sponsor evaluation and measurement, marketing and communications, major gift strategies, individual, government, or corporate, contract negotiations, and interagency relations for national not-for-profit organizations. Sue's passion for education keeps her actively involved in teaching at BCIT in fundraising, marketing, and grant and proposal writing. Healthy, focused, positive, and high-energy professional, Sue can be found on the squash courts in her spare time. Volunteer commitments include current chair's position for Promotion Plus, Women and Girls in Sports in BC, and finance committee member for Jericho Tennis Club. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me introduce Ms. Sue Griffin.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to be here. I'm going to spend the next few minutes taking you on what will be the quickest tour of the BC Sports Hall of Fame that you will ever take, with the hope and the desire that you will come, you will bring your family, your friends, your colleagues, and hopefully direct your guests through the facility. I'm a bit challenged here because I speak and look, and I don't have any notes, and I've got this pillar here in front of me. So I'm wondering if I can go down to the front and I'll just speak loudly. We are physically located at BC Place Stadium, and as you know, they've gone through a massive renovation over the last 18 months. So as a result, we have not been open to the public. We've been ventured into other activities across the province, but I'm absolutely thrilled to announce that we opened a very soft opening on January 6th to the public, and we have our grand reopening this coming weekend. Advance, please. We have two pillars in our organization. One is honoring and recognizing the most extraordinary sport in British Columbia, and that's demonstrated through the induction and the induction ceremony of individuals. And if you just hold for a minute here, we induct on an annual basis. We take nominations from anybody throughout the country. The form's downloadable on our website. The criteria is very simple in the sense that the individual has to have contributed to the sport fabric of British Columbia, and they had to have brought excellence through their sport to the province and had to have competed at a national or international level in a sanctioned sport. So you can see here, we just announced the class of 2012. We are inducting 5 athletes, 1 team, 2 builders, and a WAC Bennett Award winner and a pioneer. On your left, 2 of our newest inductees in the athlete category, Andrea Neal, first female soccer player to be inducted in any Sports Hall of Fame in Canada, and to her right, Ashley McIver, one of our Golden Girls from the 2010 Games, and that's a photo of the individuals in our new Hall of Champions. Next, please. It's absolutely fascinating. Years go by. Last year, we inducted a very high-profile group of individuals, including Trevor Linden, and the BC boys off the gold medal Olympic team, which was Roberto Luongo and Scott Niedermeyer and 2 others whose names have bypassed me right now. And this year is a very solid group. Doesn't have the profile, but the stories are phenomenal. This woman here on my left, Barbara Howard, she's 92 years old. She was the first Olympic, or would have been Olympic, track and field star in the 40s, and she would have gone on to compete in the Olympics, except it was 1940 and the war broke out, and so she wasn't able to compete. And she's as alert and as bright today as I'm sure she was in the field. And you can see Ashley McIver. Next, please. We do the official induction ceremony at our Banquet of Champions. It's a massive event. It takes place in September of every year at the Convention Center. We attract over 1,000 people to the event, and it's a wonderful balance of honor and recognition of the individuals who have accomplished greatness, and yet at the same time, it's our annual and our biggest fundraising event. So it's a tremendous line that we walk as a nonprofit organization. Next, please. That's the one pillar, which is the induction and honoring of individuals. The second pillar is the collection of artifacts and archival images in terms of being the repository for sport heritage in British Columbia. And typically what happens, a Sports Hall of Fame is created by a number of very committed individuals in a municipality. We are a multi-sport organization, and inevitably you induct somebody and it's either their mother or their husband or their wife that says, excellent, do you think we can get rid of this stuff in the basement? And maybe they'd like to take and put it on display. And as a result, we have a phenomenal collection. We have 50,000 pieces. We have 20,000 what we would call archival documents. They're the certificates, they're the scrapbooks, the placards, the invitations that individuals have collected. That collection spans over 100 years of sport heritage in British Columbia. One of the artifacts that we have is one of the watches of the 4 Minute Mile, which is, and it's on the timing on it, which is phenomenal. These are some images from our newest gallery, the 2010 gallery. You can see on the left, there's a hockey display, Roberto Luongo's, it's a replica mask that he signed at the induction ceremony. Greg Moore's IndyCar, the bottom left, and there's a full gallery dedicated to his story. And on the right, it's Joanne Rochette's dress that she wore during that phenomenal moment when she won 2010 games. Next page. Archival images, as you can see, we represent a span over 100 years in BC sport heritage. Next, please. We take donations, and donations in the form of artifacts are part of the collection. So when somebody calls and says, we've got this basement basement full of boxes, do you want to come and take a look at it? It's like going on a treasure hunt. We have a curator who is a young fellow, he's about 30 years old, he's the foremost expert in sport heritage in British Columbia. He's just finishing a book on the British Empire Games. Anyway, he goes in and he goes through and determines the value from an historical standpoint of the items and the images that are in an individual's collection. This piece here is a snowboard. Johnny Lyle. Anybody know who Johnny Lyle is? He was the guy during the opening ceremonies that came flying through the rings. Unbelievable. He was over the moon in terms of the relationship that we built with them, because we wanted his suit and we wanted that snowboard and we wanted the image of him going through the rings. And so we connected with them. This is just one item out of over 1,800 pieces in the 2010 collection that we have. And those relationships that we built in order to get these items donated to us are typically through families, they're through moms, they're through dads, they're through siblings, and so much of the 2010 collection came through Twitter and Facebook. Next, please. Location, location, location. We've got a brand new spectacular facility. We've been in BC Place since the early 90s. The organization is, we've been around since 1966, and I know a number of you probably as kids would have gone through the hall when we were at the P&E. When we heard that they were putting a new roof on the stadium, and I actually heard about it through the media, to say that my roof blew off too was a bit of a statement. We had a decision to make, and we very quickly came to a decision that we would not close. We simply were not open in that location for an 18-month period while they put the new roof on the stadium. So our business plan turned into an outreach that I'll talk to in a little bit. We are currently at Gate 8. 30,000. We have had 30,000 visitors a year through the facility. The average visit is 2.2 hours. And the average customer or visitor are young families with kids. And during the summer season, the tourist season, they're typically British and Australian people over 60 who are passionate about sport. Next, please. We have 15 galleries and 15,000 square feet. We fly so far under the radar screen. In the Business of Vancouver article that was being passed around earlier today, it's got the top, I think, 30 attractions, destinations in the city of Vancouver, or Greater Vancouver. It's definitely our goal. We will be on that list next year. I have no doubt about it. Next, please. Mesmerized. We have the only 2 branded galleries globally dedicated to Canada's 2 greatest heroes, Terry Fox, which is a tremendous venue for school kids and young community groups. Next, please. And Rick Hansen Gallery. The images that you see here obviously are from our archives. And this piece over here, was taken through the glass, so it's a bit tough to see. It's the wheelchair that he used to go around the world. 2 years, 2 months, 2 days, and I swear to God, it's sponsored by duct tape. It's just so fragile, you can't imagine sitting in it. We have an interactive wheelchair within the gallery where you can actually test yourself against time and speed. And once you're on there for about 13 seconds, you realize what a phenomenal feat this man is. Next, please. We have a window that looks into the dome. It's we're on level 3, which is the private suite level of BC Place, and it's a wonderful spot for clients. We do cultivation dinners and cultivation events there. It holds fabulous sit down for 10, or we have it's probably 20 if you wanted to stay and watch the game. And it's very popular with actually ticket scalpers for concerts. Bring the customers in and they sell the tickets. It's unbelievable. But it's a phenomenal viewing site. Next, please. We have an Aboriginal sport gallery. It's the only one that we are aware of in North America. It was a pre-2010 Winter Games initiative. We work very closely with 2010 Legacies Now and First Nations. Next, please. As we honor and we share the stories of the individuals who are inducted, it's extremely important that we engage our visitors. When I first joined about 5 years ago, it was very apparent when I counted 2 people in over the course of the first week that I was there that we weren't interacting, we weren't engaging, and we weren't talking to the young kids and the young families. We have a very large, it's about 1,500 square feet participation zone where kids can actually physically get active. They can run, there's a running track there. This is an immersible where they can experience it's a virtual experience of being on a sit ski or on a bobsled during the 2010 games. We have a climbing wall, there's a soccer simulator, there's a great race car simulator where you can race around the Indy track. So it's very active and it's a great place for parents to take kids. The kids run wild, they get tired and take them home. Next, please. We have a special exhibition gallery in order to encourage our family members who are based here in the Greater Vancouver to come back on a regular basis. We will be transitioning this particular gallery every 6 months, and right now we have featured the Dream Card hockey collection. It's phenomenal. There's no other collection like it globally. It's got all the original mass-produced hockey cards from '51 to 1995, and I've actually it's ecstatic. And if you're into hockey and hockey cards, it's a great place to spend some time. Next, please. We're the coolest entertainment facility in town. We have a birthday party zone for kids. It's 15 kids and 4 adults, and come in for 2 hours. And you've got your own personal space for your birthday party, and then you've got an opportunity for the kids to play in the participation zone and the parents to actually go through the other galleries. It's a very active educational space for our guests. Next, please. So we've just opened, as I said, our grand opening is starting on Friday. We have a VIP exclusive group of 300. Nancy Green is our honorary chair, and we are launching our 2010 gallery. It's unbelievable. You have to see it. It talks about the stories of the games from an athlete's perspective, from the venue perspective. We have a non-compete space that speaks to the story of the First Nations, and we have an extraordinary collection of delegate gifts. When you compete in the Olympic Games, the international Olympic Committee, through protocol, brings a gift from that nation and gives it to the honorary mayor of the Athletes Village. And we have, and the honorary mayors of the Athletes Village in 2010, Tricia Smith and Rick Hansen, and so they gave us the collection, and they're stunning, stunning gifts. Next, please. Mascots. So as we put the collection policy together to determine what do you want to have in a gallery, right? What do you want to have in your collection? We commissioned research. We spoke to every other host facility and host city, ranging from Australia to Salt Lake City, Lausanne, obviously, over in Switzerland, and 3 items in particular that we had to have: team podium, mascots, and the Olympic medals. And in fact, we've been able to secure all 3. Next, please. Team podium right out of BC Place. That's our backdrop on the wall. It's an awesome place for photo op for our guests. Next, please. The medals and the torches. So up on the upper left, the image, those are actually the collection of all the torches that we have. They're Olympic and Paralympic torches. We have 7 in the collection. We've taken one of the 2010 pieces apart so you can actually see the inner workings of it. And then the collection of Olympic medals. You can see young Sam looking at them. We have the set of Olympic and Paralympic medals, and they will actually be out on display this weekend on Saturday. First time out of the case, and then as soon as Saturday's over, they'll go back in the case, so people can come in and have their pictures taken with the medals. Hall of Champions is our signature gallery. This is where we tell the stories of our honored members and inductees, and this is also a space that's used for corporate events and hospitality purposes. Next, please. We're all about youth and education. We've got the stories of extraordinary accomplishments of sport. We've got the very cool artifacts, whether they be medals, trophies, certificates, etc., that exemplify and manifest the athlete's journey. And we use those images and we use the stories and the artifacts to encourage kids to set a goal, to develop a personal plan, and to achieve success on their own terms, using the values of sport. And this piece here, it's an interactive, it's a touch screen, it's a big, massive iPad actually, where you can actually go into our collection and learn about Nancy Green and see her videos of her winning and photos, etc. Next, please. So we take that and we actually go out into the community through our Hero in You program. We have online curriculum-like classes. We go into the class, we go into the community, and we also do classwork inside in the facility. Next, please. And I'm just going to flip through, if we could just sort of scroll through these. So when we go out into the community, and we launched this last year because of course we didn't have a home to open to our guests, and so we went out into British Columbia. We hit over 250,000 people. We went into the classrooms with our athletes. We took pieces of the collection with us, basically to inspire kids to, again, set a goal, develop a plan, and to achieve success. This one, if we could just go back to the one prior to Rush. Oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, dear, sorry. That massive class was, there were 2 assemblies, and it was in Nanaimo, and we took Sean Millington, who was one of our, there we are, our honored members up there with us. The next, and then if we can just continue on. This gentleman here in the middle, his name's Ernie Doherty. He's one of the last 2 survivors of the 1945-46 Canucks team, and that team is being inducted this year. And what I've learned, if I've learned anything, what I know is to be true, and that it doesn't matter how old the athlete is, whether they're male or whether they're female or what sport, once they start to tell the kids their story and the passion and the commitment and the focus that they had in order to get where they were going, these people are heroes. Ernie describes himself as older than dirt, and the kids just said, oh my gosh, do people stop you in the shopping mall and get your autographs? I mean, he's just phenomenal. Next, please. And we could just continue to flip through. So we're looking back some of our displays as we go into the community. We partnered with Science World, and we were in Robinson Square for Year of the Science. We did a lot of work, obviously, pre-Olympics. We wanted to test to see whether there was a real interest in the community in terms of access to our collection. And if we just hold back over to the, oh dear, yeah, that one. This was something that we put up right at the very beginning when we had to pack up 50,000 pieces. Rogers Arena during the Canucks games, said you could put some displays up there during the season, which was great. And I guess our greatest moment during that whole season was when Don Cherry, during the coach's corner, during the run to the Canucks, was talking about the items that were in there. And I thought, great, we can all take the rest of the day off. Let's get any better than that. Next one, please. And this is really what we're all about. Our vision is honoring the past, inspiring the future. Here you can take some photos taken from our Banquet of Champions last year. We have 2 scholarship programs through the Karen Magnuson Foundation and Jack Farley, where we give, the Karen Magnuson Foundation has bursaries that they give to young kids who are excelling in figure skating and also accomplished it in their schoolwork. And then the Jack Farley Award recipients, we give $2,000 scholarships to either a young guy and a young girl who are extraordinarily accomplished in sport, give back to the community, and have huge high academic sources. So you can see some of our existing honored members and our youth. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about the Red Mitten weekend coming up. It's half price for everybody coming in on Saturday and Sunday, and the first 25 kids coming in with their 2010 Red Mittens get in for free. John Furlong's there signing his books for the first couple of hours on Saturday. The medals are out for photos to be taken, and we're hoping that it will just really inspire our local visitors and hopefully international visitors to come and visit. So thank you for your time. It's the quickest tour we'll ever do.